Am I the jerk for now refusing to give my parent money? I have had a job since I was 16 years old, and I have been paying for pretty much everything completely on my own. This includes clothes, shoes, toiletries, university, my phone bill, and car insurance. I am a sophomore in college who is also now finally able to buy myself a car, which at this point is a need. My parents are recently separated, with my mother being the only one who helps my siblings and me with anything, as my father has not been a dad for years. When my father left, I agreed that I would help my mother with what I can whenever I can. She said that, until child support goes through, I have younger siblings all under 18 years old, she is going to need some extra help financially. I have absolutely no problem helping, as I have been doing so whenever needed since I have had a job. I even help when it is not needed, for example, putting gas into her car, buying some food for the house, and buying her and or my siblings some things while I am out. She is now receiving child support and has been for a couple of months. Her paychecks cover most bare necessities, so the child support gives enough for necessities and then some. She has been constantly telling me that I do not do enough. I am now being expected to put gas into the car that I quite literally do not use anymore, pay to fix her car as it is starting to fail, and still continue to give her money. I have given her probably $2,000 within the past 6 months alone, not including things I have personally bought to help. Meanwhile, I am still being expected to pay my bills, pay for my car, pay for university, and buy everything I will need for university. Basically, I am still paying for everything myself. I work as much as possible, nearly full-time, and I make a good bit of money as I also work while going to school. But there is only so much I can do. At this point, I started just focusing on my own finances, and I have started to help her less, as I still have so much more that I need to worry about for myself and my future. Of course, I will still help when it is genuinely needed, but I do not feel that it is truly needed at this point. She has her income, child support, and income from her new boyfriend. My siblings and I still do not have everything we need, and food is still low in the house. She has a problem with her current budgeting and is trying to put all of that on me. She has been constantly starting arguments and degrading me over all of this. She has never been like this before, and all of this has never been expected of me until now. This sudden change honestly hurts, and I genuinely feel bad for limiting my financial help, but I think I need to focus more on myself. Am I the asshole? You did nothing to deserve criticism. Your time for helping, i.e., almost entirely supporting, the family is over. Your mother has grown too comfortable parentifying you, so you need to bring that to a halt. It is not your job to meet your parents' needs. It is their job to meet yours. Your mother has a distorted view of financial responsibility, and nothing will change that unless you force it. Would I be the asshole for telling my friend I'm not interested in applying for the job? I, 42-year-old female, have a friend we'll call SQ, a male in his 50s. We met many years ago when we worked together. He was always very kind to me and even gave me rides to work sometimes when it was freezing outside so I wouldn't have to walk, catch a bus, or ride my bike. I haven't owned a vehicle in 17 years, and he took pity on me. We were always friendly with each other and got along well. I left the job, and we didn't really talk much for years, but we'd chat on social media a little here and there. Nothing more than that. A few months ago, we were chatting, and he asked if I'd like to get lunch sometime. We met for lunch, and my feelings about him being a good friend and a good person were cemented. Recently, I posted pictures of me in a new dress. I have lost a tremendous amount of weight in the past few years, and I'm proud of myself, but I still struggle with self-esteem and confidence. I mentioned that overweight people are treated horribly in our culture. He texted me afterward, saying we should go out to dinner so I could show off the dress in public and flaunt it. It just seemed like a kind suggestion. He said that he would treat me because he asked me. This was very kind of him, but also handy because, yesterday morning, I woke up to find my debit card stolen and my bank account drained. We went out to dinner last night. He picked me up and took me home afterward as I still have no vehicle, and we had a great time together. I wore the dress and felt comfortable. I'm an incredibly social person and I get along with just about everyone, but nothing prepared me for our goodbye. He drove me back. I invited him in to meet my cat because he is a cat person. And when we were saying goodbye, he told me that I had done a great job on my job interview. He said that he wanted to date me and that he was prepared for it to take however long it needed to. He explained that the dress dinner was just a convenient opening for my interview to gauge his interest. I should have said something right then, but I was honestly gobsmacked. He also loaned me some money, as I have nothing to my name right now. I will pay him back as soon as funds are restored, likely tomorrow. I feel really stupid about this, but he has never hit on me or flirted with me. He just randomly announced that my interviews are going well for the role of his girlfriend when we said goodbye, a role I don't want. So, dear Redditors, would I be the antagonist for telling him I have no interest in applying for the job he thinks I am interviewing for? That I never applied for it and don't want to be considered? I'm not dense, though I'm sure it seems that I am. I can look back and see better what was happening now, but I am not in any way attracted to this man, and I need to let him know, preferably in a kind way. He has never once overtly hit on me or flirted with me, and our conversation during dinner was very easy and friendly. You are not the bad guy in this situation. Not every woman is available to be in a relationship with him, and you have your own criteria and needs. Just be kind and firm and tell him you value his friendship, but have no interest in a romantic relationship. You want different things and need to set it straight the next time you hear from him. Am I the jerk for refusing to drive my fiancé to the train station after they missed their bus? My fiancé, a 25-year-old male, has ADHD and has difficulty keeping a schedule, which often results in him sleeping past his alarm. Today he was supposed to catch the bus at 7:30 a.m. but missed it. I work shift work and had just finished my third 12-hour night shift in a row. My commute home is about 45 minutes, so I got home just before 8:00 a.m. and woke up my fiancé upon entry. He was upset with himself right away, as he usually is when he sleeps in. We have had this issue in the past. I have previously told him that if he really needed a ride to the train station, I would prefer to pick him up at the front door, because once I am parked in the garage and make it upstairs, I am tired and prefer not to leave again at this point. Despite this, I have still done it in the past for him. I would say I probably drive him at least once every 2 weeks when he is late. He asked me if I would drive him to the train station today, which would save him a 30-minute walk for his already long 1.5-hour commute. I declined. I was hesitant at first, but decided that I deserved to put myself first. He seemed upset and made a comment saying, "I better see you in bed in 2 minutes then," but eventually went on his way. Approximately 30 minutes later, he texted me saying that he knew it was not good timing, but that he really could have used the drive today. Later today he called and I expressed to him how I was upset by this. He said he was also upset because I was not there for him when he needed me, and that he would have done it for me if the roles were reversed. He also mentioned that he was scared there was a limit to how much he could lean on me. Additionally, he said he hoped I was happy that I got what I wanted and for me to enjoy my extra 30 minutes of sleep. To be fair, I'm not working today, so I am able to sleep in later, and it would have only taken me about 30 minutes in total. I feel a bit guilty as realistically, it would not have been that much of a burden to drive him, and it would have helped him out a lot. I know he has been having a rough time lately, has worked 7 days this week, and is already angry with himself as it is. We're all human, and we all have our limits. You drive your fiancé very regularly, and for once you said no. He mustn't forget that you're doing him a favor, so when you say no, you're not being an asshole. Of course, there is a limit to how much he can lean on you. I think you are not in the wrong here. Am I the jerk for not wanting to include my grandparents' partner in my wedding? I am a 22-year-old female getting married to my high school sweetheart in February 2025. My fiancé is also 22 years old. I have been planning my wedding for a very long time, even before we got engaged, because we have been together for 6 years, and I knew it would happen sooner or later. Since we got officially engaged in May, I have been focused on planning a wedding in 8 months. While my mom and I were discussing the ceremony order, we had a conversation about whether or not my granddad's girlfriend would be in the processional. She said that I should include her to avoid hurting anyone's feelings. For context, I do not know her very well. My granny, his wife of over 30 years, passed away in October 2022 from brain cancer, and it was really hard on everyone in the family. I spoke at her funeral, and it still hurts to think about. A year after her passing, he started dating his now girlfriend. She has been around for about a year, and I have met her a handful of times at family functions or during visits. I quickly realized that I will only tolerate her because I want my granddad to be happy. I do not like her as an individual because she has spoken poorly about my 15-year-old male and 18-year-old female cousins, who are people of color. She has said things that are borderline racist when my granddad was not around. She has also mentioned that if she ever wanted to move into the house with my granddad, we would need to get rid of my granny's bed and personal items because it makes her feel like she is living someone else's life. I am not her biggest fan at all, and neither is my mom because of her insensitivity and rude comments. However, my mom said that it might hurt my granddad's feelings or hers if we do not include her. My mom is frustrated with me because I will not just let her do it to keep the peace. I stood my ground and told her, absolutely not. I do not know her well enough to even consider her family at this point, so why would I have her in the wedding? Am I the asshole for not wanting her in my wedding? The post was removed because the title asked for judgment of emotions, but Am I the Jerk posts should be about actions. Thoughts or feelings about someone else's actions aren't considered actions. It's a good idea to check out the Rule 7 FAQs and subreddit rules before reposting. For any questions, messaging the mods is the way to go. Am I the jerk for needing the car during a family crisis? My 74-year-old father was recently discharged from the hospital earlier than expected after a biopsy confirmed that he has invasive moderately differentiated keratinizing squamous cell carcinoma. Initially, he was hospitalized because he overexerted himself by going to work against doctor's orders 2 hours after his biopsy operation, which required anesthesia. 24 hours later, he couldn't walk and was stuck in the bathroom, necessitating a 911 call due to his weakness. We only learned of the carcinoma days into his hospital visit, which further intensified growing family tensions. Despite being frail, he demanded to be released early and even pressed to go to work tonight. As much as I respect his determination, he refuses to admit his limitations. I live in the Philadelphia area and had to drive up to Scranton due to my father being released early and the family reaching a boiling point. It was like trying to put a lid on a pot of boiling water. I needed to support my family and help soothe tensions arising from my father's inability to accept his aging body and my mother's refusal to see it. However, my wife Sally refused to let me use our one shared car to drive back and help my parents during this family emergency. She insisted she needed the vehicle for her babysitting gigs, and I was not hearing her out. Despite my offer to pay for her Ubers and a weekly local rental car, she insisted on keeping our car. This forced me to spend hundreds more and waste time using Lyft to get to a rental car from the airport instead of a cheaper option within walking distance of our home the next morning for her. Feeling exasperated, I said I would handle everything on my own and get a lift to the airport. She then claimed I'm being unempathetic to her needs and unreasonable. My parents' brother and I have a family meeting tomorrow to discuss his future cancer treatments and the will for the family business. I don't expect it to go well, and I really feel like I could have used a break, and my wife couldn't see where I'm at. Given the context of my father's health crisis and the urgency of the situation, am I the asshole for asking for the car during a family emergency? Am I the asshole for being unreasonable with my ask? You are not in the wrong here. It's shocking that her priority was her babysitting gigs and not the serious situation with your family. She claimed your shared car for a small trip around town, which could have easily been done using an Uber or Lyft. It probably ended up costing more than she earned from babysitting, showing a lack of support for your situation. Am I the jerk for pointing out that my dad is just jealous of my appearance? My dad is quite overweight. We are the same height, but he weighs about 50 pounds more than me. He has large saggy breasts, a bulging potbelly, a very short neck, and a chubby face. I work out regularly, and that's why I'm fit and in shape. Recently, my dad has been more hostile toward me, repeatedly commenting on my appearance and diet. He said that I need to eat more. He eats a lot at meals and for snacks, whereas I eat a moderate portion. He says that working out every day is bad for my health. I just do 20 minutes of cardio and free weights mostly at home, but he says that too much exercising will ruin my body. He even scolds me when I occasionally skip a meal because I'm not that hungry. What he says has been getting on my nerves lately. Last night I was going to the basement to exercise, and my dad told me that I already exercised every day for the past 6 days. I said that I like to work out daily, and he said that I am going to end up like my sister, who developed an eating disorder in middle school and is short and underweight to this day. Although she recovered around 9th grade, he said that for a long time she ate just 1 or 2 meals a day and spent 2 to 3 hours exercising each day. In fact, I only skip a meal once in a while, and I exercise about 30 minutes per day. He kept saying that my behavior is unhealthy, and that I need to take a break from exercising and not obsess over my appearance. I explained that I'm not obsessing over my appearance, but I just want to stay healthy, de-stress regularly, and maintain heart and lung strength. He still said that I am giving him flashbacks to when my sister had an eating disorder, and that he cannot repeat this mistake. He said that if his children have eating disorders, it reflects his failures as a parent. I reiterated that I don't have body image issues, and that I just value physical fitness. He kept lecturing and criticizing me, and finally, I told him that he might just be jealous of my appearance because of how much he has been commenting on it lately. I said that if he wants to be healthy, he should eat less and exercise a few times a week, and that it's better to be fit than overweight or underweight. He got really angry and said that he cares about me and doesn't want me to have disordered eating or body image issues, and that it's a red flag that I exercise every single day. I said that I work out because I care about my health, not so much my appearance, and that if he was in shape, he wouldn't have been so sore about it. You are the jerk here, OP, for the way you talked about your father and the general lack of love and respect you seem to have for him. Your dad went about this in the wrong way, no question there, but his concerns are legitimate given his experience with your sister. Instead of being understanding, you came in hot with a personal attack about his motivation being jealousy. I sincerely hope that you'll spend some time reflecting on what he meant and grow out of dismissing his concerns in such a cruel way. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.